All right, guys. Obese to Beast is a person that he's a YouTuber I have been following for so long. And recently we kind of got in touch on Twitch as well, and we were streaming Hell Divers and we had fun. I introduced him to the stream. You know him already on the stream. People on YouTube might not know him. He's a YouTuber, but let me show you his channel. He has 750,000 subscribers, and his whole thing is like he's certified nutritionist coach, and he was obese, and now he calls himself a beast because he became a beast. He lost so much weight, and he always shares videos about weight loss and like the good ways, the bad ways. He reacts to other YouTubers who talk about the same issues in fitness and getting fit in the healthy way. I really like watching these videos as a person who also has to deal with PCOS myself. He has a lot of videos about that too. And I wanted to like just react to one video and just show you exactly what type of content he does. So I chose this one, the devastating impact of Ozempic in pop culture. If you don't know what Ozempic is, it's a drug for diabetes, and it really helps with people who have to deal with diabetes in order to lose weight or at least not gain more weight and be like, it's a medicine, you know, it's something that doesn't cure them, but it maintains their weight loss or weight so it doesn't get worse. And unfortunately, a lot of people have been misusing this, a lot of celebrities, and because they lose weight with it easily. And also what I want to say that the bad thing about this is that a lot of people who actually need it, who have to deal with diabetes, don't have that medicine because a lot of people who don't need it are using it. So let's see this video, the devastating impact of Ozempic in pop culture by Obese to Beast.
That rich people have indeed figured out.
Okay, Chris, I will check it out after.
How to buy. That rich people have indeed figured out how to buy skinny, and now their anti-aging doctors are prescribing Ozempic even just to lose 5 pounds, resulting in the last little bit of body diversity in Hollywood being weeded out once and for all.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Ozempic, or the GLP-1.
After this video, I'll check the donations.
Everywhere. You guys have heard me talk about this many times, but the reason we're going to be talking about it today is actually this video was uploaded by D'Angelo Wallace. And it's funny enough because I've actually been a big fan of D'Angelo for a long time. I actually watched his videos long before he actually became like one of the big commentary guys, which, you know, is kind of cool to me. You know, I knew him before he was cool. But he did this video that is titled The Ozempic Olympics, Hollywood is Ruining Our Health. And I've had quite a few people message me and ask me to talk about this. Now, obviously, we're not going to be talking about the whole video. It's over an hour long. I will link it. I highly recommend it. I think he does a fantastic, like an absolutely fantastic job of sharing his thoughts and his just how he feels about Ozempic and chronicling kind of the history of it and how it has become so popular and why he thinks it might be dangerous. And I really like that because I feel like a lot of times when this conversation is brought up, it's very black and white and there's not a lot of nuance. And one thing about D'Angelo that I feel that I've noticed is that he tries to at least see some nuance in there. But before we get into that video, I do kind of want to do a little bit of an overview about like how does Ozempic work? Because I feel like we talk about this a lot. I've mentioned this before, but for someone that might be watching that might not know. So Ozempic is obviously a very popular drug that is out now that is helping a lot of people lose weight, but how does it work, right? And so this is from UC Davis, and it says, how does Ozempic work? We're just going to read through this, right? Ozempic works by mimicking a naturally occurring hormone. As those hormone levels rise, the molecules go to your brain, telling you that you're full. It also slows digestion by increasing the time it takes for food to leave the body. This is a similar effect to bariatric surgery.
That is so weird because I always had the idea that the faster metabolism you have, the faster your body digests the food and the healthier it is. But the fact that Ozempic works the other way around by increasing the time it takes for food to leave the body, maybe by doing that, it makes the body use more energy to digest food, hence losing more weight or calories.
When using Ozempic to treat diabetes, weight loss is a common side effect. It is designed to be taken long term. So that's the way that Ozempic works, and the kind of how it was made for diabetes. It's been around for quite a long time, but it was seen that a side effect of this was people were losing weight, and so then it has moved over to just a more common weight loss medication. Again, D'Angelo does a good job of explaining kind of how it got from being a diabetes medication to being now just prescribed for general weight loss. But
I wish my doctor prescribed to me Ozempic or something like that. I don't think it's really like very popular in Germany itself. I know it's very popular in America. I personally use metformin, and the only thing that it helped me with is maintain weight and not gain weight, but it didn't really help with losing weight per se. So I feel like Ozempic would help with that.
This video that
Ozempic is not the same as insulin. Like depending on which diabetes you have, if you have I don't have diabetes, but I have PCOS, which is also similar, and basically I have insulin resistance, and it helps by helping the body figure out how to use the energy and how to use insulin into producing energy instead of just accumulating it as fat into your body.
That he has, a big portion of it talks about the issue between people that genuinely need it, and I think that there are people that can absolutely get help from this medication, that they should not feel shame, and people should not treat them badly, and they shouldn't say that you are cheating or that what you are doing doesn't actually count. There are people that genuinely can find a lot of help from it.
Yeah.
But there are also people that are using it that absolutely probably shouldn't, and that is becoming a problem.
And this is what the problem is, yeah.
One of the other craziest things about this medication is just how much it is in pop culture now. It is everywhere, right? It's in songs. It has it's transcended like YouTube. Like a lot of the stuff I talk about, like if people aren't watching my channel or very similar channels, they're gonna have no idea what this is about. But with Ozempic, you can talk to almost anyone on the street and they're gonna at least know what it is, right?
You know, fasting for Ramadan used to be easy, but the last few years with work and a growing family, it's felt almost impossible, but not anymore. Thanks to Ozempic for Ramadan.
No way, that's a joke.
Great. When I look around this room, I can't help but wonder, is
Ozempic for
right
Ramadan.
Because it's talked about so often. Like this is something that has completely transcended what it was a few years ago. Like it's crazy that the amount of videos that I feel like,
especially in America. Like I don't remember her name, Tana, I think the YouTuber, and she said that she went to a party where they were giving Ozempic shots to people. Like they're just like holding Ozempic shots and giving them to people so they can eat more at the party and not gain weight.
I've made on this. I don't have a problem with that, but I just never ever thought that this would happen. And it's been so interesting seeing from basically the start and seeing how it's built up year after year. It's just getting more and more popular. And again, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's the people that I feel and other people might feel are abusing this medication that could end up being bad for the people that actually need it. So with all that being said, let's get into this video. I just wanted there to be a sufficient kind of intro so you guys understood like why this stuff is so important to me. So again, we're only going to be watching about 6 minutes of his video that is over an hour long. So again, I highly recommend you watch the video yourself. But let's get into it.
If you ever want to drop 5 pounds, this is good.
If you ever want to know what's really going on in Hollywood, look no further than the comedians. They are certainly part of the in crowd, but they're a lot more likely to expose the open secrets of said crowd in order to get laughs from those on the outside. We laugh because it's confirming what we already know deep down, that these people are really, really weird. The joke functions not just as comedy, but as an insight into a truth hidden in plain sight. The whole phenomenon is best summed up by the poet Homer.
It's funny because it's true.
So what truth are Jimmy Kimmel and Chelsea Handler telling us? Well, that rich people have indeed figured out how to buy skinny, and now their anti-aging doctors are prescribing Ozempic even just to lose 5 pounds, resulting in the last little bit of body diversity in Hollywood being weeded out once and for all.
And the other thing that's so crazy is that we have seen, and I've talked about this before on the channel, like you can go to a place where you would get like injections for your face, and they are also doing Ozempic injections as well. Again, that's when I'm like, that's too far. That is taking this thing that can be life-changing for people, and again, is not a bad thing, that when it is being overused, that's when it becomes a bad thing. Because, like it said in that article that we read where it was talking about what Ozempic is for, these things are meant to be used chronically, long-term. When you get off of it, there are going to be side effects. It's going to be difficult to keep that weight off. Not that it's impossible, but again, like those are important things that should be mentioned, that people are just taking this drug willy-nilly like it's, you know, basically, oh, I have a headache, I'm going to take some Advil. It's like they're treating it like that, which is insane, right? In that first clip where Chelsea Handler was talking about it, she didn't even realize she was taking Ozempic. It was just her doctor, her anti-age doctor said, oh, here, take this if you need to lose some weight. She didn't even know that she was on it, right? That's a problem.
People who are not that overweight are taking these drugs to lose maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds.
How a diabetes drug became the talk of Hollywood, tech, and the Hamptons. This is the Hollywood drug. Everyone I know is on it, says Patty Stanger of Bravo TV's The Millionaire Matchmaker.
These weren't developed for cosmetic uses, but they're being used cosmetically because they're so amazing in their effect.
And the issue for me is that that is happening, and that is putting a bad taste in other people's mouths that have no intention of using it. They don't feel like they would ever want it, but they start to feel like anyone that uses it doesn't actually need it, or they shouldn't be using it, because it's like, it's like an easy way out. In my opinion, all this does, the overuse, people using it that shouldn't be using it, all it does is hurt the people that genuinely do need to use it.
Like,
right?
my problem with this would be if we have people who need it and cannot get it because other people are using it who do not need it. You know, I have nothing against, like, do whatever you want with your own body, take whatever you want, like, it's your own choices, as long as it is not really harming you, like there is no harm done. But if you know that the reason that people who actually need it for their life survivability, like, you are taking away the medicine that they need and you're making a shortage of that drug for people who actually need it just because you want to lose 5 pounds, like, that is so selfish, and that's where I have a problem. But also the fact that a lot of people are not informed about this drug, and they don't know that if they stop using it, everything is gonna get back again and maybe double or triple. Like, they're gonna mess up their own metabolism like that. This is a drug that you, like, it's for chronic illness that you have to use for the rest of your life, probably on and off. And, like, what's the point then, you know? Just, like, then do it the other way.
I know there's plenty of people in my community, plenty of people I've talked to that I am literally friends with, right? Like, I know people in real life that are taking it, that it has changed their life, but they are dealing with the stigma in large part due to a lot of the stuff that is happening with these celebrities, or just people going to the whatever med spa and getting these injections that just absolutely don't need it, right?
It's like the new Botox, says Terry Dubrow, the plastic surgeon from the TV show Botched. I love it. It's so good. Everyone is suddenly showing up 25 pounds lighter, says Andy Cohen of Real Housewives fame. What happens when they stop taking Ozempic? And he's not exaggerating either. I got on the bandwagon, says Real Housewives of New Jersey star Dolores Catania. What housewife isn't on Ozempic? Asks Cohen. Not one. I wasn't going to come to this reunion looking bigger than anyone else.
Monjuro. It's another part.
Now everyone is
the
using
amped-up
it.
version.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the fast forward to Skinnyville.
Like, if fast forward to Skinnyville doesn't tell you how casually these celebs are treating these drugs, I don't know what does.
I really want to try it when I give birth.
This is literally a joke
Like,
to these
everyone
people.
wants to
Besides
try
the fact
it,
that this is just dystopian in general, I have to point out that it's not only extremely unethical, but very dangerous as well. Medicine is tested on people who have medical conditions, not typically on those without. So taking drugs to treat something you literally don't have is just reckless, because you have no idea what you're actually doing to your body.
Exactly.
Ideally, what doctors are looking for is for a continued 1 to 2 pound weight loss per week. Certainly not the 10, 15 pounds in 1 week that people are claiming they've lost on these medications when they're using them in a non-prescribed, uncontrolled way.
And putting yourself in danger just because you want to be size 0 instead of size 1 is one thing, but it gets even worse. These medications have been on the US government's drug shortages list for years at this point. Drug shortages aren't just bad for the obvious reasons of people not being able to get the help they need either. It gets more awful when awful people take advantage of people's desperation for this product by selling counterfeit Ozempic pins online, which resulted in serious side effects and sometimes even death. So
that's
This
so
results
terrible,
in
man,
death.
because when it comes to weight loss,
People
this is
would, like,
something that I've talked
literally
about
kill
quite a bit,
themselves
and
for
why
5
I get
pounds.
really frustrated when people take advantage of others that are trying to lose weight, whether or not they have lost weight themselves. There's plenty of people that are like that, in my opinion, that I think is wrong. But just people in general that take advantage of those who want to lose weight, especially people that are significantly overweight. The reason being is because from what I've seen, a lot of the people that really have struggled with their weight their whole lives, that really want to lose weight, and they feel like they've tried everything, those people are a lot of times very desperate. And so I feel like there's like definitely a correlation, at least in my mind, of like the more desperate someone is, the more likely they are to try something that maybe in their right mind they wouldn't try, but because they feel they've tried everything, they're willing to give it a shot. And I feel like people, there are types of people that see that and they prey on that person. They are looking for the person that's more desperate. They are searching for those people that feel like they've tried everything, right? That's why you see ads. Have you feel like you've tried everything? Like, because when you feel that way, you are just so much more willing to give something a shot that you normally wouldn't.
Like how I figured out that I actually do have PCOS is because I tried a lot of things. I don't think I tried everything. You never tried everything. Like, there's always something else you could have done. But I genuinely tried with different diets and stuff. And then I was like, okay, there is genuinely something wrong, because I remember back then when I was younger and I would do exactly the same thing, I would lose weight. Like, I remember how my body functioned back then, you know, and I would like do the same routine, the same diet, everything, and nothing is changing, you know, and not even that, it's getting worse. And I'm like, okay, something is wrong. So I went to the clinic and the hormonal doctor, and then they were like, oh yeah, PCOS, that's a problem. And then they explained to me what it is. I was like, that makes so much sense, because I really thought something is wrong with me, and it turned out there is something wrong.
I get so frustrated when people prey on those of us that are trying to lose weight, that have tried to lose weight your whole life, because we are desperate to lose the weight. It's something that you really want to do, right?
These Hollywood actors potentially endangering themselves is one thing, but it's absolutely unacceptable when you realize they are contributing to a shortage that is endangering the health and very lives of people who actually need the stuff. And also, they can perpetuate the same beauty standards that result in the discrimination against people with obesity in the first place. Even though this has been going on for a couple years now, it's only getting more rampant over time. It's gotten to the point where just a few weeks ago, Eli Lilly, remember them? They released an entire commercial about this. Eli Lilly slams Hollywood's Ozempic obsession ahead of Oscars.
People whose health is affected by obesity are the reason we work on these medications. It matters who gets them.
I do have to say, though, this ad is kind of annoying, because it's literally Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk's responsibility to keep up with the demands for these drugs in the first place. Like, yes, the Hollywood usage thing is bad, but they're not single-handedly causing this problem. And
yeah, I was like, I'm not one that wants to defend a drug manufacturing company, so...
By the way, if it's so important to Eli Lilly that people get the medication they need, maybe they could take some steps to ensure that more people have access to this medication, even if they can't get it through their insurance. Like, I can't help but think that the fact that these meds can cost around $1,000 a month out of pocket, if not more, is probably part of the reason this turned into a class issue where only wealthy people have a 100% chance of acquiring it in the first place.
This
but
is like some
why
of these
work on
movies.
Any of that when you can
have you ever watched these futuristic movies and you see these jello shots and stuff, and all of these people are so skinny, and only the wealthy people can get, they take these shots to be able to eat more stuff. I don't know if it was in Marvel movies or in another movie about the future. That is insane. And this is exactly and the worst thing about it is that these people lie. They lie. They don't want to say that they take it. A lot of them don't say it because it's branding for them. They're fitness models and whatnot, and they lie about doing it different ways to sell their programs, and they just I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
and just make a commercial about it. Am I right?
And the other thing that's so frustrating about this is that these drugs and stuff, it's just a part of the problem with obesity that a lot of people don't talk about. Is
now I understand why
it's so easy to want to
Germany
blame it
why I
on
didn't
willpower.
Get it.
Right? It's so easy to blame it. The only reason you're fat is because you just don't work hard enough, or because whatever, you eat bad. But in reality, there's so much more that goes into it, right? With people, if you are born in a position that you don't have much money, right? Or you're in a food desert, or there are so many other factors that go into obesity and people that struggle with obesity that it's just so frustrating seeing a company that is making a drug that is helping people still being you don't take it, but also we're going to make it unbelievably expensive because we still need to make money, right? It's just gross, in my opinion.
A commercial that frankly, is just going to get even more people thinking, wait, you can use Mounjaro for cosmetic weight loss? And seeing as how big pharma companies are, at the end of the day, still companies, one has to imagine that this was a consideration or even a factor behind making this ad campaign in the first place. But you know, while many people still do deserve to be called out over this, there is a major caveat here. Just because someone is a rich celebrity does not mean that they're exempt from health issues. There are actual people in Hollywood with obesity or even type 2 diabetes, and clearly this drug has helped them. Actor Anthony Anderson has diabetes and was one of the most prominent voices calling for this trend to stop. And while you can certainly acknowledge how wealth, class, privilege, and all of this play a huge role in making it way easier for a celebrity to obtain this medicine as opposed to the average person, you can't just point your finger at any celebrity who has lost weight in the last couple of years and blame them for a national drug shortage. Again, we don't know if they used Ozempic, and even if they did, some people really do need the medicine, even if said people have offshore bank accounts.
So that's all the video that we're gonna show, because I feel like the rest of it,
I mean, there's a
lot of it is stuff that we've already talked about previously, just because obviously we've been talking about this quite a bit.
Something that
but
interests
I really feel that D'Angelo does a great job. Like if you're at all curious about the video, I highly recommend you watch it. But I just felt that he did an incredible job, especially talking about the nuance when it comes to, yes, like Ozempic is incredibly helpful for a specific person, but there absolutely are people that are, they are using it when they don't need it, right? They're exploiting that. It's just, there's so many people that don't need it that are using it. But at the same time, just because those people are doing that, that doesn't mean that the people that actually need it are bad or anything, right? It's like there's two different types of people. And it just feels like with this conversation, it's like if you bring this up, some people will just be like, oh, that's just cheating, or that doesn't count, or whatever. That's an easy way out. When like for a specific person, maybe that is the case, but not for everyone.
Let's not pretend that there are people who would always choose the hard way if there is an easy way out. Like, let's be honest, everyone will use the easy way out. Like, come on. Especially if your life doesn't surround, like, it's not all about fitness. Like, it's something that you have to really take away time and dedicate it to that. And it's hard because you have so much shit going on in your life. Of course, you want to take the easy way out. Everybody would do it.
I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but like, there are plenty of people.
The only difference would be if the easy way out means also more dangerous way out that is like really like life-threatening, then I don't think a lot of people would choose that. Only like dumb people would.
This has completely changed their life, and it's made it to where they're able to make the steps that are necessary to have that weight loss, which that's not the only thing that matters, right? But like to improve their health when before they felt like it was impossible for them. And those people shouldn't be shamed, and they shouldn't be ridiculed for the choices of people that are taking it that is not completely necessary. But I'm genuinely curious, what do y'all think? Down in the comment section down below. Are you on it?
I would be really mad if I see that someone is shaming someone with diabetes who is using that medicine to lose weight and be like, why did you not go on a diet, Blanche? Just try hard. Like, dude, you don't know how it's impossible to go on a diet. Like, it's impossible with these type of these illnesses to lose weight. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, you have to have some type of help. It's really hard. So I hate when people judge people like that. Like, do you think I didn't try everything? Do you think I didn't give it my all? And stuff like it really bothers me when I see people not understanding that. And then I'm like, I wish they just can have what I have for a while and try it themselves and just see by themselves, because no other way I can explain to them that. They're very judgmental. And it is so sad. But yeah, it would break my heart to see that people who really need it are getting shamed for taking it. But I also hate the fact that it is like that and people are judgmental because of people who take it and don't need it. So it is a problem, and I don't think we're gonna get rid of this. I think it's just gonna get worse, and I think there will be more in the future medications like Ozempic that will be misused, you know? It is really sad. It's a sad situation.
Ozempic or another GLP-1.
That was a good video by
Obese. Has it helped you? What has your experience been, right? Because everyone
make sure
has
to
their
check
own
out his
experience, and
channel.
I would love to know what y'all think down in the comment section down below.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to check out the video, the full thing, it'll be linked in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for sharing. Peace, stay tuned.
You are a summer and after